What is going on, mindful meatheads? Caleb here, back with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about what you can and cannot control.
The panda will never fulfill his destiny, nor you yours, until you let go of the illusion of control.
Illusion?
Yes. Look at this tree, Shifu. I cannot make it blossom when it suits me, nor make it bear fruit before its time.
But there are things we can't control. I can control when the fruit will fall. And I can control where to plant the seed. That is no illusion, Master.
Ah, yes. But no matter what you do, that seed will grow to be a peach tree. You may wish for an apple or an orange, but you will get a peach.
So, when we look at a lot of the problems in our life, a lot of them tend to originate from the same core idea that we think that we have the ability to control everything in our lives. However, we all know that that's not really true. So I wanted to just talk to you guys about some common misconceptions about stuff that we can and cannot control. And by letting go of these ideas, hopefully, it can enhance your life. So the first point I wanted to talk about is how you can't control other people, no matter how much you want to. You can only control yourself. So a way that you can think about this is, let's say that you go to the store and you pick out a jacket that you really, really like. However, you go home and you try it on for your partner or your mom and dad, and they tell you that they don't like it. Now, you can't control their opinions. However, you can control how you perceive their opinions. So you can go about this two ways. You can say, you know what? You're right. I'm just going to be upset about this and return the jacket or never wear it and decide that it was a waste of money. Or you can understand that no matter how hard you try, you cannot control their opinion. Instead, all you can do is just remind yourself that you bought the jacket for a reason, you like the jacket, therefore you're going to keep it because all you can do is control your interpretation of their opinion. The next point I wanted to address is how another misconception, and that is the idea that we have control over our own thoughts. So we know that as humans, we have the ability to not only think like other animals, but we have the ability to also think about our thoughts. Now that can be both good and bad. It is what drives innovation and creativity, but it's also what drives anxiety and depression. So you can't really control your own thoughts. And as I've talked about in other podcasts, if you're doubting that, then why don't you either close your eyes and tell me what your next thought is going to be? You can't. Or go ahead and close your eyes and let go of all control and just wait until a thought arises into your head. So if you notice, you didn't control that thought, it just arrived into your head. So therefore, to listen to these thoughts doesn't make any sense. Instead, we can do what we have control over, and that is note our thoughts. So every time that a thought emerges into your head, whether it's anxious, happy, depressed, whatever, all you have to do is say to yourself in your head and make a conscious note that, oh, right now I'm thinking. Bring your attention back to what is ever in front of you and keep doing what you can control. So just remember that even though you may think you have control over your own thoughts, you don't have control over your thoughts, you just have control over your action. Therefore, you cannot listen to your thoughts. Getting on to that point, as humans, whenever something happens, we have the ability, sometimes it's not the ability, but we have the ability to train ourselves to have the ability to do this. And that is the idea that when something happens, you could either react in two ways. You can cautiously think about how you're going to react, the action, or you can habitually react. So the idea is that as we continue to meditate and train our minds and just be more cautious of our thoughts, we are able to remove ourselves from our habitual reaction and go on to what we actually want to do. So if that doesn't make sense, another way of thinking about it is, let's say some person cuts you off in the middle of, or cuts you off while you're driving. You know, your first reaction may be to lay on the horn, yell, put up the middle finger, or if you have a trained mind and you understand that we have control over our reactions, you can take a step back. You can think to yourself, is it really that big of a deal that this person cut in front of me? Yeah, maybe it was a bit scary. Maybe there was someone else in the car, a child, and you were scared that they may get hurt. But ultimately, nothing happened. It's not that big of a deal, and we can decide if we want to react in an immature manner and scream, or if we want to react in a mature manner and just take a deep breath. Another thing that we are unable to control in our lives that brings quite discomfort is the physical reactions that we have to certain emotions and thoughts. This could range from anxiety attacks to where you can't even breathe to just the subtle increase heart race in your heart beat because of some type of anxiety. However, we do have the ability to control how we choose to interpret these body reactions. So you can, a common meditation practice you can do is by noting your thoughts and recognizing every time I have an anxious thought, my heart tends to beat quicker. Every time I have a depressive thought, my stomach sinks into the ground. So by being able to note this and recognize every single time I get anxious, this happens. Then you'll start to notice that there are just patterns in your brain that come completely out of nowhere, or maybe one thing will spark it, but it's no reason that, again, we should listen to our thoughts. If you haven't noticed, it's quite hard to truly achieve this idea of what we want in life, and that is happiness. If you are unable to recognize the fact that we do not have control over our own thoughts, or that there are things in life that we cannot control. So until you're able to recognize that and step out of the illusion, as Master Shifu said, of control, then you will be one step closer to being a bit happier. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below some ideas for new videos. Thanks.